Hi everybody. So as I promised via Instagram, I said that I would do a little Bitmoji scene tutorial. So I've done a few now, I've done two now where I was at home virtual teaching. So here is me in my makeshift living room. And yes, this is my actual dog. His name is Jersey. I also have another at-home scene here as well. I like to change up my outfit and my glasses just to keep it different each day. And now this is my virtual classroom. My Instagram name, as you know, is achieving.algebra. So I have my little poster here that says, if you believe, you can achieve. I thought it was very fitting. I have my handwriting on the board, different little things to bring some character and life to my classroom. So here's another one, solving systems of equations. To change it up, I added a little bit more interaction with the students' desks. And then even I created my own little beach summer scene, which was super fun. I added some seagulls to the sky, just a little different things, surfboards, sunglasses, just some things that I like to do in the summertime. But besides that, I will get to the actual piece of this that I have promised. So you're going to start by using a blank slide on Google Slides. And when you click the insert and then image, just go over to search the web. So you're actually going to start with wall and floor backgrounds if you want that as your background, of course. So I'm just going to take this pink wall with this wood floor. And then we're just going to adjust it to meet the size requirements. Oops, I lied. I usually like to pull from the corner first, and then I'll kind of distort it a little bit and move it along there. So as you can see, we now have a wall and a floor. Now, I'm not really a big fan of this pink wall, so I'm going to use my shape tool. And I'm going to highlight my rectangle over the sides of the wall and get it right down to the floor there on both sides of that. Okay, so now I'm going to pick a new color that I want. So let's pick a custom color. I'm going to go a little different today. So I'm going to go with a hue of green. That looks pretty. All right. So when I click off of it, actually I lied. I need to change my outline to transparent. Don't want to see that. So I need to pull this a little further so make sure I cover that wall up. So you just want to make sure you're paying attention to details. Come on, there we go. And it's okay if your things hang off a little bit because I'll click present so you can see. Once you click present, it's going to cut it off anyway. So you just want to make sure it meets your own preferences. If you notice up at the top, I have a little tiny line, so I'm just going to pull that up a little as well. Make sure I'm hiding all my edges. All right, so we now have a wall and a floor, and now I'm going to create my classroom. So one thing that's important is if I do whiteboard and then I want to click transparent at the end also, that makes sure that there's no background behind it. So let's try this one. I haven't seen this one before. I haven't used it. So it's on an angle. So let's shrink it. You usually want to use the corner so that you're not distorting the image at all. So I'm going to change up my classroom the way it looks from what I've done in the past. So this should be interesting. So we're on an angle here. So, all right. And then I'm going to add student desks. Let's see if we can find any on this angle. So student desks, transparent. So let's see here. Just going to scroll through and find something until you see what you like. Sometimes you need to play around with the wording a little bit. Maybe I'll try around just student desk transparent. This gives me a little bit more options. Let's see. I think I might try to use this white one. See how this turns out. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So we're gonna shrink this down to size. Okay, that looks pretty good there. So I'm gonna move it up actually. Oops. Command Z is your best friend. You wanna undo something. Super useful. Okay, and then I'm just gonna Command copy because I want it to be the same size, and then Command V to put the second desk down. Okay, and I'm gonna separate them a little bit. We need to start social distancing. So Command V again. I want a third one. However, this one I'm gonna send backward. So I'm gonna do order, send backward, and that I'm gonna bring this one forward. So order, bring forward. So they go based on the order in which you put them. So I'm just gonna stagger them here. Let's make sure those feet are on the floor. Okay, so I have all 4 feet on the floor there. Okay, so if you can see here, now when I click present, even though my legs are hanging off, okay, it shows pretty proportionally, that my desks are in line. I might want to shift this one over just a smidge. Okay, move it up some. All right, so now we have our desks in line. Now I'm gonna add some writing to the board, so I'm just going to click my text box. Okay, and I'm gonna type Miss Warren's, algebra class. Now I like to play with my fonts, so I'm just gonna copy, or not copy, but I'm gonna highlight, and then you can go to the double dots here. Oh no, here it is. Sorry, more fonts. So you can pick like a handwriting one if you don't like any of them. So I'm gonna go with bad script, but if you choose that you don't like any of those fonts that you see, you can click on more fonts, and you actually have a ton of options here in Google, which is fantastic. So I just scroll through and I look for like a handwriting one, like Indie Flower, super cute. So maybe we'll use that one this time. And I'm gonna increase the size here. One too many. Okay. Since it's on a smart board this time, I'm gonna actually change the color. I'm gonna make it a pretty color that maybe not green because that blends in with the wall a little bit too much, but maybe a shade of blue. My new school colors are blue, so gives it just a little bit of pop of school spirit. Okay, so just different things you could play around with when writing. I'll add to the board a little bit later. But then let's go into, you want to add this Bitmoji extension. If you don't already have a Bitmoji, download the app, create it. If you have Snapchat, you can create your Bitmoji right directly through there. And then when you go to Google Chrome extensions, you can add the Bitmoji extension and you log into your account. Okay, it updates as you update your Bitmoji. So I change my outfit on my Bitmoji every few days, which is just fun for me. So one of the helpful things is if you type in the word pose, you get all these different, just very subtle poses that are, good to use because they're pretty, easy, self-explanatory, nothing too dramatic. So I'm having a hard time seeing what this Bitmoji is doing here. So I'm just gonna click and drag. Clapping. So here I'm celebrating success, which is something I really love to do. So I'm just gonna position myself right here at the front of the class. Maybe make myself just a hair taller. So there I am. I'm applauding my students. You can decorate different things. So I'm going to look for my poster. So you can actually go in here and you can type in, so poster, you can look for different things. So I put in before, I think it was motivational poster, and you can look for your different quotes. There's that think positive one that I put in my other slide. Let's see. Not seeing anything that is standing out to me for my math classroom. So you just, again, something you want to change up your wording, etc. And if you had something that you even liked before, see, now I want my, if you believe you can achieve, I can just go back and hit Command Copy. And guess what? Now I could just Command V and put it on my wall here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger on this wall. It's one of my favorites, of course. Okay, so if you can believe, or if you believe you can achieve, let's see. If I want to type in math poster, okay, maybe I want to add in some pi. Let's see. It's algebra, so I don't want to do anything too elementary. Let's see, back to school, welcome. Maybe this is something I would want to add if I was doing a blackboard instead of a whiteboard. I could actually take that nice little image and add it into onto my blackboard instead of a whiteboard. That would be super cute. Or math clip art, sometimes those are really great. All right, well, I'll venture away from the posters for a minute with decorating, but I can add a calculator in. Oh, unable, sometimes that happens where they can't do it, but I could do calculator, and then add transparent. And now I can arrange, can drop that in. Okay, what I really like about this, so like, if you notice, this is facing the wrong direction as for where my students are sitting. So I'm going to shrink it down, make it realistic sizing for the desk. Okay, so that almost a little bit smaller. Okay, well, another thing, I can hit right click it and I click rotate, and you can flip your image so that it's facing the way that you want, and then you could just angle it the way that you feel is appropriate. You know, I still think that looks a little weird, so I might actually rotate it back and try to angle it that way. Nope, that's not working for me either. So let's do it this way. That's BLUME.com/Pandora. I might flip both directions. Redoing that, I'm sorry. I played with it too much. I manipulated it to a point where I could not remember what I did. So I'm actually going to leave it this way, and I'm just going to place it on the student's desk. Okay, I could do a textbook. Okay, textbook transparent. You don't want history. I'm not a history teacher. Okay, so let's see here. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit more today than I do normally, so I apologize for that. If you want to be very basic, you could do book and keep it simple, which I think is what I did in the past. Now, let's see. So here I'm going to try dropping this book. Obviously, we need to resize significant amounts. Okay, that one's not going to work for our angle. Sometimes angles, it's sometimes very easy to just go for a straight on image. These desks are making it more difficult because I chose to put them on that angle. This is the textbook I used in my last video. So, or not in my last video, but in my other classroom slide. So it's right there, as you can see. I'm going to put it on this back desk over here. We're going to size it appropriately to the desk. And this. We're just going to leave it like that. I'm not even going to write algebra on it this time, but you can always add a textbook and add the, what you want to it. You can even make it a little more personal and do glasses. Try to add those in there if you have a student who has glasses. So what's nice is with them being transparent, you see right through them. They're going to have to be super, super small to be realistic. Oops. Okay, I'm going to carefully drag them over, make them even a little smaller. Okay, and then you just want to position them where you want them. So you have your student with your book, calculator. You can decorate your walls up a little bit more. So I'm going to go back to maybe if I do pie poster. Okay, I can see the different, or in this case, let's actually get specific, algebra poster. Try a little bit of everything. I actually really like this idea, this brain. I've always said that I'm left and right brained because I always, did just okay in math as a student. But this is like that growth mindset coming into play here. So I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit further. And actually, I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to actually do a window in my classroom so that you can see how to do that. I did one in my home. I didn't do one in my last classroom, but I think it just cozies everything up a little bit. So let's do a window. And get rid of poster, transparent. So I picked this one down here in my last scene. I think I'm going to change it up a little this time. And let's see. I think when I tried this one. So you're going to size it how you want it. I love that you can manipulate it. Now I'm going to have it hanging off my page some so that you only see half the window. But we're going to know it's a window because I am going to add some scenery outside. So just choose a landscape. So I'm going to be a little bit realistic. I'm in New Jersey, so we see, grass and fields. This is pretty realistic for what we see. I'm going to drop this in here. Okay, it's going to be very large. Looks like some mountain pink in there. It's the flower that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to get it so that this is size there, so I'm going to use that as a little reference. Okay, looks pretty good. It falls right in there. So now I have it centered, but now I want to order and move it backward, and now it's behind my window. So I've now added a window in. So you could do all different things. Look at decorations. As you see, I have some borders. See how they hang off again. So just a couple of different things. You got to really play around with it. See what best suits your needs. Just little different things to play around with. So if you look, I will also show you before I go. Of course, my dog won't be in, or you know what, let's choose, let's see. Let's do a pencil, and I'm going to choose something that does not have a transparent background that I need to get rid of. So let's say if I choose this pencil here, that actually has transparent background. So let's see. You know what? Let's do flowers in vase. Okay, so I want to put some flowers in a vase into my scenery. Let's see. You still want to choose something that's kind of basic and easy. So let me try this one. So right now I am going to insert a new slide, a blank slide. You just click and drag, and you can delete this so you have it blank. But I'm going to drag this picture into this frame so that I can manipulate this. So now I'm going to do File, and then I'm going to save. Download. I'm sorry. So I'm going to download this as, I like to use a PNG. Okay, and it's going to download just that slide. So it's named Bitmoji Slides. Now I'm going to go to this site, remove.bg. Okay, this is like a little lifesaver. So I'm going to upload my image. Okay, this will be my Bitmoji scenes. If you notice, it's just the slide with my flowers. Okay, so I want to remove, it automatically removes my background for me. So now all you can do, now if you don't like the way it removes it, you can click edit and you can erase or restore different things. So if you didn't like the way it moved it, you can, restore it, and then you can go in with the brush and erase it on your own. Now I'm going to download the image, and it downloads it with the same name, except at the end it says, so we're going to do insert image, upload from computer. Okay, if you have a Mac, now it adds that preview in there so you can tell the difference. You click upload, and now you have your, so I'm going to make these, they're going to be like a little floor vase just to dress it up a little bit. So you just make your classroom your own. If you want to make it look just like your own classroom, it's very easy to do that. You just kind of got to play around with it and decide what you like, what meets your feels and your needs. And what's really good also, so if I wanted to, let me go to my own website. So, I'm on my wrong account right now, so let me switch over here. You would think I would have my own site saved. I don't. I don't even want Classroom. Sorry, guys. All right. All right, right, so if I go get my site from here, I can grab my link. And if I want to insert, okay, you can actually insert a link. Oh, it's not letting me right now. Hold on. So let's do a text box. Now we can insert link. Okay, you're just going to paste your link in there. And I can type Miss Warren's site. And I can change the font to look just like my handwriting on the chalkboard, except maybe I'll make this purple. This matches my old school that I currently still work at, but will not be working at come next year. So right now, since that meets that, and when you're virtual learning, your students can click directly and make this very interactive for them. So that's just a couple different things. I'm gonna make them all big so that you can actually see and look through. I use the remove.bg in order to get that image of my dog. So these are my at-home virtual learning setups for my kids. Here's one of my classrooms again. If you notice, I put like a little laptop on my desk. I have my glasses on this day. Here I added a little bit more to the chalkboard, but kept that classroom actually the same. I did my summer scene, played around with that a little bit. There's just so much that you can do. You have that interactive. So if you notice, I can just click right here and it takes me directly to my Google site. But that was that nice, oops. Okay, so you can link things to each image. So if you wanted your students to click on one of your posters, you could do that and that direct them somewhere. So there's lots of different things that you can choose to do with your Bitmoji. So have fun with it. Let me know if there's anything else that you might want to see that I can help you with, and I'd be happy to try to create something that helps meet your needs or answer any of your questions that I might not have done here. So thanks for watching, and I'm really excited to share this journey with you on my new Instagram page as I begin teaching in a new school. All right, thanks everybody.